All right, good day, hi, and welcome. Okay, looks like a nice day, but that wind is really, really cold. Hey, check out my boat. Okay, what you're about to see is real. There are no reenactments here, and viewers' discretion advised. What you're about to see is horror. 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 Anyway, okay, yeah. Okay, so here's the throttle body. Okay, already disconnected the spring and the throttle cable. Now, ooh, this is scary. This is scary. Look at that. Ooh. Gee, I wonder why it's not running nice. I kind of figured that was gonna be like that, so I gotta clean that. I'm gonna get the throttle body right off. I don't know how to take this little arm thing off, do I? I don't want to break anything. I've already broken one. That's the only part I want to break on this truck is that little bolt there. Everything else, not allowed to break it. But I gotta get it clean. I've got to get it clean. So I don't know how this cable comes off, and I don't want to go too far into it today, but I would like to get this throttle body cable off. I don't know if that just pulls out, but these are plastic bits, so you got to be careful with them. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do. All my bolts are there, and a little trick is put your bolts in the back the same way they came out and put them back in their holes. That way you don't lose them later on. So sorry, I've got the camera in the wrong spot here. So yeah, so I want to get all this, put all that back. You see, I got to clean all in there. Got to clean all of it. The face looks good though. It's not pitted or anything. So maybe I got a little bit of a leak here, I guess. That might be a leak. There's no gasket on that. That's crazy. There's no gasket, I don't think. Or is there a gasket? Yeah, there's a gasket. There's a gasket. I don't want to ruin the gasket. I just want to clean everything. I just want everything clean. And yeah, so I'm going to see if I can get this off. I don't have a manual, so I have to. I have a feeling this is probably one of those things that it's attached and you have to unhook it somewhere else, back through the firewall, which sounds like it's going to be one of those jobs that will really be a pain in the ass. And if that is the case, I will have to just clean it where it is, which, yeah, is what it is. But I got to take this all off anyway if I want to get out to my plugs. Like, I didn't have to take this off. I could have taken the whole housing, which I will take off later, the throttle body housing. Or if you want to call it a housing, or yeah, I don't want that in my engine. So we should do stuff on windy days. Throttle body housing or manifold, whatever you want to call it, but it hooks to the actual manifold. But I got to get all this out of here anyway to clean it all. So my job is going to get pretty big. Going to get pretty big. So I'm going to figure out how to get this thing off. If there's a trick to, there's some sort of a trick that I just don't know. It's like a stop. Just a cable of some sort. I'll just have to figure out how that comes off. Maybe it on threads or something. Because I don't want to break anything. Because everything I break I have to replace, right? So I'm trying to keep this on the cheap. But yeah, so the throttle bodies is we'll have a second look at that. All that crud, that's probably never been cleaned ever since, and that's going to make a difference in your running. So yeah, there we go. That's kind of what I thought I was going to see. And what I'll do is I'll get it off, and then I'll show you. If I can't completely take it off, then so be it. I'll have to work on it in the spot, but I really wanted to take it off so I could really show you in good detail. The sensor right here, that sounds like it's about to break. So I mean, that's old. I mean, that's 1998. So if I have to do things in place and kind of like have things hanging there, rather than risk breaking them, I'd rather do that. So I'm going to get to the point pretty much after I get past the throttle body. I got to start marking things so I know everything goes back together. But yeah, I'm going to do that. That's how I'm going to do it, because that's how I'm going to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can get that cleaned up, and then all that removed out of the way. I don't think I'll get it done this week, but little bits each week. Again, this is going to be a really long project. Like I say, unless I win the lottery or something. But even then, it's still, there's a lot of work to do here. And I got to do it all myself. So unless I win the lottery, like I say, if I win the lottery, then I got to pay somebody else to, just here make it excellent again. But I'll get in there. I'll get doing what I got to do, and yeah, get that cleaned up. I have a contact cleaner and everything ready to go. So, do a little bit of each day. I guess it's kind of like that wind is really chilly, so otherwise it's really nice out. So I have made the executive decision, rather than trying to start it up one more time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean everything, then put everything back together, then run it up, then take the spark plugs out. I'll take one attempt at the spark plugs. What I'll probably do is put some like honeydew or like penetrating oil, leave them soak for about a week just around the rim, so maybe I get lucky and I can, crack them without stripping them, because if I strip them, then I got to take the head off, and that's even more work. And I'm going to eventually have to do that, I'm sure, but I just don't want to have to do it this year. But then again, it might be just one of those projects, just tear it all down and start over. You know what I mean? Like just disassemble the entire vehicle and start over. That's kind of what I want to do with this thing anyway. Just clean everything, replace whatever needs to be replaced, upgrade whatever I want to upgrade. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to do it. So anyway, yeah, so I want to get that cleaned up. Definitely want to get that cleaned up. Won't clean it today, but at least I got that far anyway. So oh well, there we go. Yeah, one more last look at the horror show here. So again, this is the stuff that puts vehicles in the garage. That's clogged up, your injectors get clogged up, your plugs get fouled, and then you wonder why your vehicle doesn't idle and run right. You clean that up, clean up your injectors, clean up all that stuff, then things start running really good. And again, that will happen to every vehicle. That probably should be done probably about every 5 years or so, maybe even every 2 if you can swing it. Just cleaning it. Even on a new vehicle, I would do that. Like my next vehicle, hopefully, won't have to be, well, if I can get another truck at the end of the, I know another truck at the end of the season, that's, can replace that truck, and then that truck can either become a mud runner or donor or whatever. Maybe I'll sell it if it's still running. That truck, I just got to fix it up. So it's the same as this. Like I can get that truck back on the road, but as soon as I get pulled over, they're going to take it off the road for rust. So it's like, it's sure ready to go. It's just it's two-wheel drive and it's stuck in the snow and I can't get it out there. So otherwise I'd probably be driving that already, but it does need an exhaust. This and this need the same things. That needs rear brakes. This needs brakes all around. Now the front brakes on that are pretty much excellent. I don't know if you can see the truck. And needs an exhaust. And just, like same thing, like cleaned up. Like that truck, it was fairly well taken care of. I can tell that. And again, yesterday I ran it, like it didn't even hesitate to start. Like that's why I love that truck. It's like, it just boom all the time. It's been sitting for a long time. It's only ran 3 days out of the past 2 years, pretty much. Or yeah, and then of course when my uncle passed away last year, it sat for another, probably 3 or 4 months till I bought it in October or November, whenever I bought it. And I was able to get it started, but this year I guess maybe my fuel line might be froze, or just there's too much water in the gas that's in there. Either way, I've heard it running. I know it runs. It runs really rough, and reasons like that are some of the reasons why it runs rough. Most of the vehicles you see in a scrapyard just need maintenance. They might need a few parts here and there. Usually it's like windshield, exhaust, and brakes, and if the vehicle's rusted out, it's usually that costs more than what the vehicle's worth. But if it's not rusted out, and this truck's not bad. There's rust on it. It's at that point where I got to deal with it, because if I don't, this truck's never going to drive in the winter again. This is going to be a summer truck for whatever. But the point I'm making is that if you have the time, you can upgrade vehicles, and I mean upgrade by just going and doing preliminary tests on vehicles that have whatever their problem is, and a lot of times you can fix them up for much cheaper. And if you can find something with no rust on it, and it's just, well, it has a bad engine, it has whatever. A lot of times, if it rolls over, the engine isn't bad. It's usually electrical component or something like that, or foul. You'd be surprised how many vehicles get replaced because they have a fouled plug. I mean, I'm just saying, I've seen some crazy stuff. I'm not a mechanic, but you get the idea. Over the years, you see this stuff, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna see what I can do to get that little arm thing off. See if there's a disconnect down there somewhere. And yeah, I'll show you when I'm done, or tomorrow, or the next time I'm working on it. All right, there we go.